is the obvious one. How do you feel physically?
I feel a lot better. I've been getting better every single day. Like, it felt good to really be able. Yesterday, I could run a little bit more and move around a little bit more, because that's part of my game, you know. So I'm getting better every day.
Trying to say, when you slid, everybody kind of held their breath. Was that part of what you?
I got to be able to do that, you know. So I was like, man, what better time to do it than now, right? So I had to practice it, and plus RC, he been killing me because I told him, like, hey man, I'm working on the slide, and I'm bringing back my baseball days. He put on a little note, Jackie Robinson. I was like, thank you. If I can slide and steal home like Jackie Robinson, I'm doing good.
Jameis, do you need to play Friday?
I would love to. I would love to play, just in terms of like to get out there where the bullets are really flying and get out there and compete with the guys. You know, I love the pregame experience, just to get a chance to look in everybody's eyes, dap people up, and really get that whole holistic team bonding part in the beginning of the game. That's one of my favorite parts of football. It's just that pre-battle moment. So I would love to experience that before we really kick things off.
So you have no concern about your foot?
Would you be fine with not playing Friday if the first time you got an opportunity? It's that first game in Atlanta. Would you be fine if you don't play Friday?
Well, I'm going to do my best to be prepared regardless. Whatever the head coach decides, I'm going to be ready to play. I'm definitely going to be ready to go. In regards to your question, yeah, my foot is literally getting better every single day. And it's not like a major injury. It's just in terms of overcompensating because I got the knee, you know, and we don't want anything else to spring up just from me, you know, using one side more.
Jameis, how are you a different quarterback today than you were your last game with the Buccaneers?
Well, I mean, I'm a different quarterback today than I was with my last game with the Saints. I take a lot of pride into trying to and preparing to get better every single year, especially when it comes to knowing the offense like the back of my hand, knowing where my get-outs are, knowing how I can take advantage of the accessories that I have around me, understanding the game plan, understanding my offensive line, knowing everyone's strengths and weaknesses, and being more honest with myself about my strengths and weaknesses. So I'm consistently, every practice, every day, I'm evaluating myself to get better.
Where do you feel like you've made the most growth in some of the stuff you were just talking about?
I think just understanding my teammates, understanding what everyone can do and what I can do in any given situation. That's been the biggest thing.
You talked about how do you feel your connection with Alvin Kamara has grown, and what do you make of him as a player?
Well, he's definitely the best running back I ever played with in my life. So, I mean, does that speak a lot? I mean, I played with Dalvin Cook. I played with Devontae Freeman. I had Dalvin as a freshman. I had Freeman for 1 year, but, I mean, Alvin is pretty good. You know, he's excellent. I just love how intelligent he is and how he has great awareness for the defense and finding those open spots in any given moment.
DA was saying the other day just like how he's doing more of the dirty work, and when a guy like that's doing it, how it can affect the whole team. From a player perspective, when you see him kind of, you know, putting his helmet in there and doing some of that stuff, like how does it inspire you guys?
Well, he's a leader, and everyone looks up to him as a captain of this team and as a leader of this team. So when you see guys like him, Cam, DeMario, you know, Eric McCoy really banging heads and being full speed at practice, Mark, even veteran guys, when you see those guys giving all they got as a head coach, you know, it allows everyone else to buy into what you're doing. And we all bought into what DA is bringing to this team.
Jameis, have you gained any new impressions on Mike Thomas now that you guys have actually been able to work together as much as you finally have?
No really new impressions. I always knew he was one of the best receivers that ever played this game. I mean, the stats speak for that. But I just think getting a chance to connect with him, getting a chance to be around the guy he is, I think the biggest thing I learned is that he was really football smart. Right, and he loves his game so much that he, even off the field, he's doing everything in his power to make sure he's the best football player on the field. So I think us growing in that relationship, you know, spending some time with him away from the facility has really opened up my eyes to who he is, not just as a football player, but who he is as a man too.
Did you get more of a chance to do that this offseason, and since he was obviously around a lot more?
Absolutely. I think, you know, we were both open to each other more this offseason because we were expecting to be working together. Last offseason, it was a little, you know, we didn't know who the quarterback was going to be, so it was kind of like we were split in between, and the year before that, it was Drew's show, so I really wasn't going to be flying out to LA to run routes with Mike, that went look right to Drew. So, I think we're slowly but surely, man, we getting together and we're going to have a beautiful connection.
Jameis, about overcompensating because of the knee, so would you say you're not mentally or physically fully trusted me yet? You talked about
No, I didn't say that at all. I trust my knee wholeheartedly. I don't want to put any pressure on my knee or other body parts for overcompensating with my foot. So rest is a big part of recovery and healing, so I can be fully ready. And when I'm on the field, I'm not thinking about anything besides executing and leading the Saints to a victory. Injury is not even in my mind.
How's your chemistry with Chris Olave?
I think everybody's chemistry with Chris Olave is really good. He has a way to get open, and he's a tremendous young receiver.
James, you mentioned in the off season that like your intermediate accuracy was something you wanted to work on. How do you feel you've improved in that regard, and like what specific things this summer y'all did?
The specific thing with that is just like you see us doing those little targets.
Right. That's what I was thinking of.
I think implementing more of that, even though I gotta get better at those targets. But I think the biggest thing is giving the receivers a ball that they can transition with, opposed to giving them a ball that like kind of brings them down. Like giving them a ball like coaches always say, put the ball in front. Allowing them to be able to get extra yardage beyond just the throw and the catch. Just kind of making it easier for them to get upfield and get that yak.
Is it more like you wanted to improve those throws specifically, like you said, or is it also that you wanted to, in your mind, like mentally, check down to those types of throws than maybe like trying to go for the big throw? Or
again, it's just this offense. This offense, we like to attack teams laterally. Most of my offenses, we were always vertical threats, heavy play action, throw the ball down the field. But in this offense, having guys like Alvin, having guys like Mike and Chris Olave and Deontay Harris and Jarvis, guys who can extend plays with the ball in their hands, giving them a nice, accurate ball for them to transition and get upfield. You throw a quick pass, it's 5 yards, but those 5-yard passes can turn into 11, 8-yard gains just by the location of the ball.
What about outside throwing coaches? Have you consulted any of them?
Well, I got one throwing coach. I have a plan every offseason of what I want to work on. And this year, probably because of my knee, like I was able to work the intermediate game because I wasn't able to drive the ball down the field as much. I've always was confident in throwing the ball down the field. I definitely wanted to improve on my intermediate accuracy.
Jameis, Andy Dalton has spoken about like throwing the ball to Taysom Hill and what that's like, and how he understands that position more because he's played quarterback. What's it like from your perspective throwing it?
Well, I think when you have talent like Tace on your team, you're always winning. Like and he said it on the head. Like when you got Taysom, like he knows where you want him to be. Yeah, he knows what type of ball he's even getting. From that standpoint, just his understanding of the game and who he is as a complete football player helps us in every position, really in every room too.
Obviously, if you're working with the noise out there today, how did some of that nonverbal stuff go, and how has the communication changed this year without Teron in terms of the O-line kind of?
It went well. I believe Teron did a great job of developing Like Eric has done a tremendous job, and when James is in there, James does a great job of communicating. That left tackle in the center, really the tackle to the sideline and the center are going to be your most vocal guys in terms of letting you know the down and distance and letting you know the situation when we get up in the huddle. And I know E is like his football IQ is off the charts, and I trust him wholeheartedly with how things go in terms of communication. I think it's great that we get the chance to practice that and get in that environment right now before the season starts, because we plan on being in a lot of high environment games.
Do you feel like you are on the way to something special before? I mean, you are on the highest quarterback rating of your career, and then the injury happens.
Yeah, every day I'm really visualizing how I can make the best of this day. And last year, even though it was an improvement, I can't wait to step back on the field and compete some more. Because one thing I know, that I would not take this opportunity for granted ever again. And I'm just grateful to have that chance to go out there and stress some people, throw some touchdowns, win some football games, and keep y'all smiling, keep everybody smiling. I love good days, right? And if I have a bad day, right, get better from that and continue to be resilient and persevere. Nothing is going to kind of hurt me, or nothing is going to deter me from my thinking, because I'm an optimistic guy. I love challenges. I just love winning way more.
You actually talked about baseball earlier today. I go back about a decade ago, I believe you said baseball is a game of failure. And you can't dwell on mistakes, you have to move on to the next play.
Yeah.
Is that a part of what you're saying there?
Yeah, absolutely. Because baseball, you go 1 for 3, it's a good game for you. So just being able to eliminate the negatives and focus on the positives and build on the positives, and do that over and over and over and over again. If you finish your career with your ratio being 1 for 3, you're in the Hall of Fame. Right, so I just want my touchdown to interception ratio to be where it needs to be, but I want my winning ratio to be where it needs to be, and then I know that this team will be where it needs to be.
Is this the most complete team you've ever been on?
Yeah. I believe we got a lot of great pieces. Obviously, I play with tremendous talent, at Tampa, but I believe this team has a lot of talent, and I believe we can do some great things. But actions speak louder than words, and I'm pretty sure everyone in this building would say that we want to do our talking on the field.
Who was the throwing coach? The throwing coach, who was it?
The throwing coach?
Yeah, you said you worked with a throwing coach.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. Thank you.
Thanks, James. Thanks, James.